Men don't fall in love the same way women do, and before they can transition from attraction to true, long-lasting love, certain emotional and psychological needs must be met. Men's brains are wired differently when it comes to emotional attachment and bonding, which is why this occurs. Therefore, men fall in love through a sequence of psychological safety checks that must be met before they can access their deeper feelings, whereas women typically fall in love through emotional connection and closeness. These are unconscious psychological needs that either foster the growth of love or erect obstacles to its development. They are not conscious demands that men consciously impose. Because of this, a man may experience attraction, intrigue, or even infatuation when these demands aren't satisfied, but he is unable to progress into the more profound emotional realm where enduring love resides. Comprehending these demands does not entail altering oneself to appease men or repressing your own desires. It's about identifying the psychological setting that enables guys to feel secure enough to fully open their emotions. Understanding what guys require to feel emotionally safe will help you build relationships in which love grows organically rather than under duress or pursuit. Men must have these basic psychological needs met before they can even access their capacity for profound emotional investment, whereas most women concentrate on giving more love in order to receive love in return. They genuinely can't love truly when these fundamental conditions aren't satisfied, not because they don't want to. Hello, I'm Mr. T from Delete Psychology. In this video, we'll discuss the 5 distinct psychological demands that must be met before males can experience long-lasting love, and why knowing these needs completely alters how you approach relationships. And if you know what makes men feel emotionally safe, you'll be able to construct partnerships where your innermost needs are met without sacrificing your own value or authenticity. You'll also be able to naturally inspire deeper commitment. First and foremost, respect comes before romance. For men, respect is the emotional oxygen that allows all other sensations to develop. Without it, even the strongest attraction will suffocate and die. Therefore, feeling respected is the foundation of a man's capacity to fall in love rather than feeling loved. Men are wired differently than women, who believe that a man will fall deeper if they show him more love, tenderness, and care. Because respect affirms our fundamental identity and value as men, we want for it more than unwavering adoration. An emotional barrier that stops love from blossoming is created when a guy feels ignored, condemned, or denigrated, even in minor ways. He may continue to be drawn to you and enjoy your company, but he is unable to really expose his heart to someone who makes him feel unworthy or judgmental. Respecting men doesn't mean giving up or losing yourself. Rather, it means recognizing their efforts, valuing their contributions, and addressing them in a way that upholds rather than diminishes their dignity. Men will frequently select a woman who respects them over one who loves them more deeply but doesn't do so since this need is so basic. Men find love that lacks respect to be constrictive and conditional. The important realization is that respect gives men the emotional security they require to be open and vulnerable. When a man is respected, he feels comfortable sharing with you his vulnerable side, his dreams, his concerns, and the aspects of himself that truly inspire love. The second need. He felt secure in his masculinity. Here are some aspects of male psychology that most women are unaware of. Because love only blossoms when a man's masculinity is respected rather than threatened, men need to know that they can lead, provide, or defend without having their masculine impulses ridiculed or disregarded. Men frequently receive conflicting messages about their manly role from modern dating, leaving them unsure of whether their innate tendencies to take charge, care for others, and defend others are beneficial or detrimental. Deep emotional connection is prevented by the anxiety caused by this uncertainty. Men fall in love when their strength is appreciated rather than just tolerated. Love can flourish when a man thinks that his desire to care for you, solve your issues, or take the lead in specific situations is valued rather than hated. This does not imply that you must be defenseless or reliant. It entails preserving your own strength and independence while letting him exhibit his masculinity in ways that come naturally to him. Men emotionally withdraw when they believe that their masculinity is continuously questioned, attacked, or viewed as harmful. They are unable to fall in love with someone who makes them believe that their fundamental nature is flawed. Men can be vulnerable because they feel safe in their masculinity. They have emotional energy available for the gentler feelings that lead to profound love when they are not required to protect or conceal their male tendencies. The third need is freedom prior to commitment. What if the key to getting a man to commit is to show him that you don't need to trap him instead of persuading him that he needs you? True commitment only occurs when freedom is freely given rather than taken, and men cannot love if they feel trapped. Men commit most fully when they believe they have the opportunity to quit, which is a paradox in male psychology. He voluntarily chooses intimacy because it doesn't feel like a prison when a woman respects his individuality and doesn't want to dominate or control him. Men have a strong psychological urge for independence and self-governance. They are unable to truly commit emotionally when they believe that a relationship is limiting their independence, constraining their choices, or demanding them to give up important aspects of themselves. However, a man might fall profoundly in love because the relationship improves rather than limits his life when he believes that he is choosing to be with you every day, when you support his freedom while also creating something wonderful together. This urge for independence has nothing to do with evading responsibility or wanting to be with other women. It's about preserving his feeling of self and autonomy in the partnership. Men fall most deeply in love with women who give them more, not less, freedom to be who they are. Together, they construct something significant while making room for his personal development. However, when it comes to granting males freedom, most women are totally mistaken. They see it as being aloof, unreachable, or difficult to obtain. In actuality, there are methods to respect his desire for independence while yet fostering a close relationship. It has nothing to do with becoming less involved. It's about being involved in ways that are encouraging rather than oppressive. Most women unintentionally cause him to feel trapped by subtle, dominating behaviors that they are unaware of. No matter how flawless you are in every other aspect, any one of these freedom killers has the power to keep him from experiencing true love. It is not the level of love that distinguishes women who inspire commitment from those who cause escape. It has to do with how they provide that love in a way that respects his psychological desire for individuality and choice. Even when you're attempting to demonstrate affection, there are 3 specific actions that unintentionally make men feel confined. Comment, freedom, and they'll tell you what to do instead to make him select you freely every single day. The 4th is necessary. Acceptance on an emotional level without repair. Men actually need emotional acceptance without the need to change before they can fall in love because they need room to be vulnerable without losing respect or receiving criticism, even though women frequently try to help men by suggesting solutions or improvements. Because they anticipate attempts to correct, alter, or enhance their weaknesses, men are afraid to open out emotionally. The emotional closeness required for the development of profound love is thwarted by this anxiety. A man wants to know that you can hear his shortcomings without making him feel bad when he confides in you about his limitations or anxieties. He needs to be acknowledged for his flaws without being offered a solution right away. Men are drawn to women who are able to see their emotional reality without attempting to control, resolve, or enhance it. They feel safe enough to open up more about their inner lives when they receive this kind of acceptance. Love is the source of the need to assist and make things right, yet it frequently keeps men from feeling fully accepted. They cease sharing when they perceive their feelings as issues that need to be resolved rather than as experiences. Accepting negative behavior or avoiding crucial conversations are not examples of emotional acceptance. It entails making room for his emotions without going straight into problem-solving mode. Number 5 is necessary. Evidence of your uniqueness. Throughout their lives, men encounter many women, but they fall in love with the one who defies their past experiences by holding higher standards and exhibiting true distinctiveness rather than by chasing harder or being more available. The majority of women attempt to differentiate themselves from other women by being more understanding, accommodating, or available, yet this strategy frequently causes them to blend in rather than stand out because it follows the same pattern that males have previously encountered. When men realize they can't replace you, they fall in love. You are uncommon. This oddity has nothing to do with being challenging or playing games. It's about having real limits, standards, and a unique sense of self-worth. When he understands that losing you would mean losing something valuable rather than just another alternative, love blossoms. Only when you show by your behavior that you are different from his previous experiences will he come to this awareness. It doesn't matter what you do for him, what matters is how you conduct yourself, how you regard yourself, and how you want to be treated. Men fall in love with women who are self-aware and refuse to settle for anything less than what they deserve. This distinctiveness generates what psychologists refer to as scarcity value, the understanding that what you provide is unavailable elsewhere and difficult to substitute. Here's what occurs when you comprehend the 5 psychological needs that need to be met in order for guys to experience enduring love. You understand that improving your emotional surroundings doesn't need you to alter who you are or repress your desires. It's about knowing how to create partnerships in which both parties feel secure enough to experience intense love. Genuine love can grow organically when you appreciate him, respect his manhood, protect his freedom, show him that you are unique, and offer acceptance. However, when most women begin applying these psychological concepts, they don't anticipate the following. They start drawn to men who look to be ideal on the surface, who say all the right things about wanting love, who seem to value their acceptance and respect, and who seem prepared for something genuine. However, they later learn that some of these men have been manipulating several women at once by leveraging their knowledge of female psychology. You see, there's a significant distinction between a man who actually needs certain psychological conditions in order to fall in love and a man who has mastered the art of taking advantage of women's desires. Some men have found that pretending to appreciate acceptance, respect, and masculinity is a useful strategy for gaining access to several women without providing sincere commitment in return. Casual connection routines are not always used by the most experienced players. They are the ones who, although leading a varied and non-committal existence, have mastered the language of emotional depth. They know exactly how to keep each woman's options open while making her feel chosen and unique. These men have long sexual histories, not because they are open about their desire for casual relationships, but rather because they are skilled at making each woman feel unique and that she is the one who has ultimately motivated them to pursue a committed relationship. They don't employ the clear markers of casual relationship. They are far more sophisticated remarks that support their approach of keeping a variety of options while sounding like sincere emotional investment. Because of this, it's critical to recognize these verbal patterns in order to discern between a man who truly requires psychological safety to love and a man who has mastered the art of using your desire as a weapon to gain that safety. Therefore, our new movie will show you the 7 things that betray a man's genuine background if you want to protect yourself from guys who use sophisticated manipulative tactics disguised as emotional depth and recognize the particular phrases that imply vast sexual experience. To observe their patterns, please click on the video that is currently displayed on the screen.